Resident Evil.
Hey guys, this is Dean here, co-member of Light Post Films, and the host of Official Palooza, where you know the rest, but, okay, you're wondering, what is this all about? Well, this is probably gonna be like one of my first collection videos, and I know that some aren't into that kind of stuff, but I feel like I share something special, and I kind of did like a little, I filmed myself showing off what kind of collection I have to the voice chat, to, like, especially to one of Jack's friends, and to everyone else. I showed a collection video of one of my favorite video game franchises, Resident Evil. Yep. The Resident Evil by Capcom. The same company that gave us Street Fighter and Mega Man. So, and I kind of had a little fun filming this while I was showing to the chat. So, and I feel like, why not just share it here on YouTube? Anyway, let's not waste any time. So, I hope you enjoy what kind of game collection of the franchise that I have so far. So, and it's also to like promote the upcoming video game Resident Evil Requiem. So, enjoy! Well, Josh, since you were showing me some of your like Resident Evil games, like the rare versions, here's my trilogy of the original PS1 Resident Evil games. Here's the original, with director's cut. Well, don't worry, it's not the DualShock version with the shitty music. And here's Resident Evil 2. And Resident Evil 3. So, bam! Oh, and I also have Dino Crisis. So, yeah, I actually kind of planned on playing through the original trilogy. I mean, I played the remakes. I mean, the remakes are fun, but I want to go back where it all started. With these puppies. And also, stars. Wait! There's more! Here's the rest of my, Resident Evil collection. I got Code Veronica on PS2. And the Outbreak, files. So, there! And, wait! Here's more coming! Here's the Origins collection of Resident Evil 0 and RE1 Remake. And Resident Evil 2 Remake, 3 Remake, and and here's Resident Evil 4 on PS4. Okay, no pun intended. And here's Resident Evil 4 Remake. And, hang on, I got more incoming. And here's Revelations 1 and 2, and Resident Evil 5, Resident Evil 6, 7, yeah, and also Welcome to the Family, Son, and Resident Evil Village. So yeah, bam, there's that epic collection, and, and here's the CGI movies. I am such a nerd of collecting Resident Evil. And soon enough, can't wait to get my hands on Requiem. Wow, I was showing off a lot, wasn't I? Yeah, I mean, I just can't help it. I really adored this series. I mean, look at this. Look at all these Resident Evil games. Look at all this. Look at all these games. I am so obsessed. Well, because it all started when my older brother was playing these games on the PlayStation, on the original PlayStation is what I mean, and the one he was playing was this one, and that is where I got into the franchise to begin with, and woo! I mean, my God, that is a lot. Whoa, 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 no, don't fall. Hang on, let me fix this. There. And I was showing off these two, and boy, because I've been obsessed with the franchise, yeah, as I mentioned before, and you know how really sacred this franchise is to me, and because as I mentioned this in one of the video reviews I did with Brock when we looked at Welcome, you know what I'm talking about. Seriously, that movie was fucking awful, and I hated it. Oh yeah, and I also mentioned about the live-action films, like the Paul W. Anderson films. Well, most of them were kind of entertaining, but kind of guilty pleasure films for me. But Final Chapter was kind of a mess. I mean, and the one I kind of liked the most was the first three, and like the first film, Apocalypse and Extinction. Those are the ones I actually kind of liked, and Afterlife. Oh, sorry. Whoopsie. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. And Afterlife, that one was kind of mixed, but the only saving grace was Wesker, who was just hamming it up, like just kind of one of those fun overacting villains. Like, you should have brought more. Yeah. I mean, it's like playing a parody version of the character, but I mean, in a so bad it's good way. And Retribution, the Final Chapter, and then we had the reboot, which is Welcome to Raccoon City. I fucking hate that movie. It's on my list of worst movies I've ever seen. I mean, Sean may think it's okay, but no, I hate it. I mean, fuck this movie. Fuck you, movie. Fuck you. Okay. I'm sorry. And then there was the Netflix series, and ooh, it got bad reviews. Yikes. And after that, I gave up on a faithful adaptation of the franchise. Well, thankfully the games were going strong. But then there's gonna be a new Resident Evil movie, but by Zach Cregger, who you may know him recently for other horror films he directed, like Barbarian and Weapons. And I recommend those two. Those are really good horror films. And I'm gonna try to get Brock to watch them with me. Okay, anyway, sorry. And also, after he directed those two films, I'm actually gonna give this one a chance, and I really hope it's good. And I heard he really loves the games. And he said his favorite game of the series is Resident Evil 4. That's right. Hang on, let me show off. Like, this Resident Evil 4. And probably... Oh, stop. Stay there, you. And probably the remake, too. And so, I actually have faith in Zach Cregger. And hopefully, don't screw this up. Please. Please make this good. Please! Okay. I am so sorry about that. Anyway, I think that's all I gotta say at the moment. So if you want to be into Resident Evil, then give the games a play. And I mean, I really cherish this franchise with all my heart, and I cannot wait to play Resident Evil Requiem. That is like one of my most anticipated games for 2026. So, that's all I gotta say at the moment, everybody. So, and also you want to one of my top 5 RE recommendations. Well, I'll explain this when I cut away like this. Number 5, Resident Evil 7. And yeah, this one is like sort of a soft reboot of the franchise where main character Ethan Winters goes saves his wife from a deranged family called the Bakers, and all hell breaks loose. And okay, yeah, and also the cover is a kind of dead giveaway of who the villain is. It's like a very demonic, evil-looking child, but yeah, I mean, I won't spoil too much about it, but give this game a play. And then to its direct sequel, number 4, is Resident Evil Village, and this game is both scary, fun, and very action-packed, and some fans kind of complained that it was too action-oriented, but I never really had an issue with the action elements. I was actually okay with it, and I know some fans did kind of were like obsessed with this character like Lady Demestra. I think you will know what I'm talking about, but that woman is not my type. But I mean, I love her as a villain, but I mean she can never beat like characters like Jill and Ada. But aside from that, like I'm sorry, Village has a lot of scary monsters. Like the Lycans were cool. Mother Miranda was a really memorable and sort of a tragic villain, and Heisenberg was just a hilarious bad guy. And oh my god, that monster in the basement when you try to face off that doll, the woman who has that doll puppet. If you know what monster I'm talking about, I don't want to go into it. Because it's something just like with Barbarian. If you know what I mean, but less gross and more scary as hell and nightmarish. Okay, on to the next one. Number 3 is a tie between remakes of Resident Evil 2 and 3. Yeah, I had to make it a tie. I mean, because I actually think both are awesome games. Both are well oriented and well respect the original 2. And I actually find remake of 3 actually really underrated. I mean, I know it had a divided opinion, but I thought the game was awesome. And yes, despite being kind of a rush game, but at least it was playable. And at least it's not as broken like, say, that shitty King Kong game. And also, I really love this game too. I mean, I didn't play the original RE2 yet, but yeah, sorry. Anyway, the two games are fun, and they're technically zombie games, but there's more about trying to survive than rather fighting the monsters. And also, Mr. X just won't leave me alone. Go away. Okay, number 3 is... number 2 is the Resident Evil 1 remake. And also, a little honorable mention to Resident Evil 0 being underrated. But anyway, to RE1 remake, and it's my second favorite game of the franchise, and where the nightmare all started. I mean, it's a very classic horror story where police officers are trapped in this spooky mansion and have to survive the horrors from flesh-eating zombies, reptilian creatures called hunters, a giant snake, giant spiders, and anything. It's like an old classic horror story set in an old mansion where everything just wants to kill you. Also, I forgot to mention that Village has nice gothic horror. Well, this is also has goth horror, but it's almost like a classic horror story from the 1800s. Oh no, I mean, you get what I mean, but I mean it's a remake of the original game. I mean, I did play a little bit, but I got a little lost. But I mostly played the remake mostly, and because and I would say these two, the remake of the original and Zero, I think is good for newcomers who want to get into the franchise. And now my number one favorite is Resident Evil 4. Both original and remake. And I freaking love 4. This game is both scary and badass. And who can say no to Leon S. Kennedy? I mean, he's like the most classic hero protagonist in video game history. Like, the story about saving a girl from a crazy cult and trying to survive at the same time while also being an action hero. And Brock really loves this character, and we both agree that how we were both pissed of how he was treated in Welcome to Raccoon City. But aside from that, like, I would also think this game is also good for newcomers and is worth the play. And also an honorable, yeah, that's all I gotta say. One of my favorite games, and an honorable mention goes to Resident Evil 5, which I really think this is underrated and it kind of wraps Chris's arc and his past experience and his arch enemy Wesker. So yeah, that's all my top 5 of what games I love the most of the franchise. And anyway, let's cut back to myself. Wow, going over on it for 6 minutes and woo! Wow. So yeah, you could see how much I really love these games. And also forgot to mention about RE3 remake. Nemesis is like one of my favorite monster villains. And yeah, so that's all I have to say. And apologies if I keep repeating myself because this is a very unscripted video. And hopefully if this was worth your time. So again, those were like my top 5 favorite Resident Evil games. I'll hopefully maybe extend it a little more in the future once we have like new games coming out. So I hope you liked the video, and also, like, what are your favorite Resident Evil games in the franchise? Like, what are your favorite monsters and your favorite characters of the franchise? So just let me know in the comments below. And like I said before, I cannot wait to play Resident Evil Requiem once it comes out next year. So I'm gonna wrap this up right now. So this is Dean, co-member of Like Post Films, signing off. And have a good rest of your day. And now I'm gonna have myself a Jill sandwich. I mean, peanut butter jelly sandwich. What am I saying? I sound like I'm poorly dubbed. Anyway, goodbye everybody.